Scroll the dread, algorithm knows what headline keeps you pinned to your bed. 24-hour cycle, same face, surge and tone, same story repackaged while the real one goes unknown. 6 corporations on the media you call the truth. 90% of what you see was focus grouped in a booth. News is not a window, it's a product they sell. Product isn't information, product is the hell. You feel it in your chest, tightness that won't leave. Fear that someone's coming, terror you believe is native to your body, like you were born to be afraid. But the fear was manufactured, fear was custom made. Your kids can't sleep, ask if the world's about to end. You don't have an answer, you just hold your friend. Wonder why the feeling won't release its grip. Fear is not your fault, somebody's taking the tip. Hand you terror, call it being informed. Hand you panic, call it the norm. Never ask to profits from the quarters as you bleed. Never question if danger was designed to plant the seed. They need you scared and scrolling, locked inside the doom scroll feed. If it bleeds, it leads, first thing they learn in the trade. If it bleeds, it leads, the fear is custom made. If it bleeds, it leads, and the bleeding never ends. House collects the ad revenue while your sanity descends. The terror is the product and the product is the hook. The terror is the only script in every anchor's book. Born safe into a world where safety was alone. Remember when the threat was terror cells in town, satanic panic, tearing churches down, crack cocaine flooding every block and street, immigrants competing for your meat. Every decade has a monster, monster has a price. Every monster generates a budget, bold and precise. Monster changes face, but the weapon stays the same. The weapon is your fear, and the fear is the game. Hand you terror, call it being informed. Hand you panic, call it the norm. Never asked to profits from the quarters as you bleed. Never questioned if danger was designed to plant the seed. They need you scared and scrolling, locked inside the doom scroll feed. If it bleeds, it leads, first thing they learn in the trade. If it bleeds, it leads, the fear is custom made. If it bleeds, it leads, and the bleeding never ends. House collects the ad revenue while your sanity descends. The terror is the product and the product is the hook. The terror is the only script in every anchor's book. Born safe into a world where safety was alone. Clear Channel Memo 2001, songs banned after the towers fell. Coordinated narrative playlist sent from corporate hell. Same-sex owners, sun chicks, funding news you trust. Terror is a market, and the market is a must. If it bleeds, it leads, they need you never knowing this. If it bleeds, it leads, the terror that's been growing since first broadcast. Told your mother what a home should be. House has been constructing desire before you breathe. Wanting was a rental, wanting was a lease. Wanting was the only thing sold and never ceased. Born safe and the safety is still somewhere in your chest. The fear was manufactured in the factory, never rest. Fear was the cage, but the key was always in your mind. Fear was the page they wrote before they made you blind. Fear was the wage they paid you to stay docile and tame. Fear dies the moment you refuse to play the game. Fear was the wage they paid you to stay docile and tame. Fear dies the moment you refuse to play the game. Manufacture crisis, the news runs hot for weeks. Anchor's voices trembling while the body count up ticks. Step 2, politician rises, says they'll guard you tonight. Legislation drafted by the industries invite. Step 3, bill is passed, midnight session, no debate. Patriot Act, October 2001, the date. 342 pages passed in 48 hours flat. No member read the thing, but every donor's check fast. Step 4, new agency, Aasians rises from the ash. 22 the partners merged in one funding splash. Step 5, the contracts, flow surveillance, green and border tech. Same companies that lobby lobby, now I cash in every check. Step 6, the fear renews, a new threat breaks the cycle fresh. So threat fades, a new one sells, the cycle starts afresh. Law is not protection, it's procurement dressed in code. Law is a receipt, and the receipt is what they're owed. Create the crisis, sell the panic, pass the bill, collect the fee. Never asked who wrote the legislation protecting thee. Never question why the same 3 firms get every grant. They need you scared of everything, so nothing's left to chance. Law is a receipt, purchase orders on the floor. Law is a receipt, lobbyists at the door. Law is a receipt, politicians on the take. Every regulation's written by the industry and state. Crisis is the product, solution is the sale. Crisis is the wind and the fear is the sail. Born free into a system charging freedom as a tax. Crisis is the product, solution is the sale. Crisis is the wind and the fear is the sail. Born free into a system charging freedom as a tax. TSA was born from 9. 11 private screeners multiplied. Same contractors that botched it got the contract. Security theater, take your shoes off at the gate. While same firms that failed the test at the going rate. And the 2012 indefinite detention codified. President can lock you up, no trial, just national pride. Bill was be violent, both parties raised a hand. Defense lobby wrote the check and both sides cash plan. Create the crisis, sell the panic, pass the bill, collect the fee. Never asked who wrote the legislation protecting thee. Never question why the same 3 firms get every grant. They need you scared of everything, so nothing's left to chance. Law is a receipt, purchase orders on the floor. Law is a receipt, lobbyists at the door. Law is a receipt, politicians on the take. Every regulation's written by the industry and state. Crisis is the product, solution is the sale. Crisis is the wind and the fear is the sail. Born free into a system charging freedom as a tax. Patriot Act, Section 21 fee. Records without woman shown. Fees a court approves 99%. Rubber stamp on stone. Agency that spies on you. Built by Bowen's design. Law is not a shield. Law's a private line. The law is a receipt. The purchase orders in the frame. The law is a receipt. And the receipt has a name. The law is a receipt. Cash the check, every regulation's written by the corporation's deck. The crisis was constructed, the solution was pre-sold. The crisis was the gamble and your freedom was the fold. Born free into a system that was never built to serve. The law is a receipt, and the receipt takes nerve. Law was not your shield, it was the sword they used to carve. Law was not your birthright, it was a debt you had to starve. Law was not protection, it was extraction wearing robes. Law dies when you withdraw consent and read the fine print globes. The law is a receipt. Show you the menu. Monster has a price tag. Terror threat funds, defense, $1 trillion cash bag. Lockheed, Raytheon, Northrop tickers on the screen. What they sell you makes the quarterly pristine. Drug war funds, prisons, sells at 90 grand a head. Private prisons rising, incarcerated all their bread. Crime threat funds, police militarized and swollen. Boogeyman, your handed was selected, never chosen. Border threat funds, the wall, surveillance contracts flow. Defense firms, cash and checks that you will never know. Virus threat funds, pharma Pfizer profits through the roof. Execute selling stock is all the proof. Virus terror was real, exploitation was designed. Men who wrote the lockdown rules had portfolios aligned. Crisis is a payday, every panic is a bill. Fear is raw material for the military mill. Sell you monster, sell you cure, sell you prison, sell you door. Never asked who built the cage and offered the key. Never question why solution always cost a fee. Need you terrified of shadows so you miss the tree. Boogeyman's a product with patent and a price. Threat was focused, grouped and selected to entice. Fear in your bloodstream, someone bottled it and sold. Someone counts receipts while terror takes hold. Monster changes costume but factory's the same. Monster has a brand and the brand has a name. Crisis you lived through was pitched in a boardroom.
Drug war started 71, Nixon's chief of staff confessed. Target black and hippies, public safety the pretext. 50 years of prison time, private profit off the chain. Families own the plants now on the prison lane. War on Terror 2001, the checkbook open wide. DHS is birthed in weeks, no debate to decide. 20 years Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria to Yemen. Same contractor, same checks, the exact game plan. Sell you monsters, sell you cure, sell you prison, sell you door. Never asked who built the cage and offered the key. Never question why solution always cost a fee. Need you terrified of shadows so you miss the tree. Boogeyman's a product with patent and a price. Threat was focused, grouped and selected to entice. Fear in your bloodstream, someone bottled it and sold. Someone counts receipts while terror takes hold. Monster changes costume but factory's the same. Monster has a brand and the brand has a name. Crisis you lived through was pitched in a boardroom. Ehrlichman interview, drug war was a lie. Targeted war protesters in black towns to die. Defense stock tripled as the towers fell and burned. Monster is a spreadsheet, never learn. Final core and man's a product with a patent and a plan. Threat was manufactured by the same invisible hand. Fear in your bloodstream, they injected it with skills. Someone counts receipts and they're counting still. Monster changes costume, but boardroom stays the same. Monster has a brand and the brand has a name. Crisis you lived through was a line item approved. Monster is the ledger, a ledger's been removed. Fear was not your burden, rented by the hour. Fear was not your instinct, cultivated power. Fear was not your birthright, sold to you at cost. Fear dies when you trace it back to who price it's most. Now you trace the fear. Monster was constructed, every crisis was veneer. Ran the terror treadmill, decades of your life on edge. House collected panic tax on every single pledge. Two paths in front of you, first one keeps the screen bright. Keep scrolling, keep trembling, keep dying in the night. Second path is quiet, no pundit tells the tale. Second path is what remains when you step off the rail. Told you vigilance was virtue, told you fear was being smart. Told you paranoia was the price of beating heart. Told you world was ending Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. Lie was not the danger, it was premise of the fright. You would never help us, that's the truth they couldn't air. Calm mind sees the con and has nothing left to fear. Panic was a rental, panic was a lease. Panic was the only cage you can sign release. Calm is not compliance, calm is not defeat. One weapon the fear factory can never beat. Need you trigger trembling, reaching for the next alarm. Calm is the refusal and refusal is the arm. Turn off the screen, signals in the static now. Turn off the fear, it was programmed in the attic now. Panic was implanted and the implant can be healed. Safety, they told you that you lost was never real. Calm is the resistance, calm is the revolt. Calm is the one thing fear merchants cannot bolt. You are not the terror, you are not the dread. What to do when the panic finally starts to fade? Look at all the threats you bought and see a masquerade. More the years you spent afraid of shadows on the wall. More the sleep, lost to monsters, never there at all. Stand up, brush the static off, look neighbor in the eye. Compare the fears, discovered that the same exact lie was broadcast into every single home on every single block. Many have been paying with their sanity, that's the shock. Calm is not compliance, calm is not defeat. One weapon the fear factory can never beat. Need you trigger trembling, reaching for the next alarm. Calm is the refusal and refusal is the arm. Turn off the screen, signals in the static now. Turn off the fear, it was programmed in the attic now. Panic was implanted and the implant can be healed. Safety, they told you that your loss was never real. Calm is the resistance, calm is the revolt. Calm is the one thing fear merchants cannot bolt. You are not the terror, you are not the dread. They fear you calm, they fear you still and clear. Fear the day you realize no monster's ever here. Fear factory depends on your adrenal glands production. Terror industry collapses when you stop mass induction. Turn off the screen, signal was inside you all along. Turn off the fear, fear was a manufactured song. Panic was never real, calm was always in your chest. You were born safe and safe is not a test. Calm is not the end, calm Calm is where the door begins. Calm is when the many stop running from imaginary sins. You are not the terror,